Time now for the Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.
New NBC poll finds declining support for Donald Trump's border security and immigration policy. 49%, according to the NBC poll, of adults, quote, strongly disapprove, close quote, of Trump's immigration agenda, and that's up from 34% who strongly disapproved in April. Now let's discuss the reason for this upsurge in disapproval. Now, I've told you before that the Pew Research Center looked at the first 60 days of news coverage of Trump 1.0 and looked at the first 60 days of news coverage of the first terms of Bill Clinton, of George W. Bush, and of Barack Obama. In the case of Trump, 14% of the stories, ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, New York Times, Washington Post, Newsweek, 14% of the stories had to do with immigration. Trump 1.0. Not Trump 2.0, Trump 1.0. Versus 1% for the other presidents I just mentioned, including Obama, who deported more people than Trump did. So the things that people are complaining about, that ICE is allegedly doing, lawlessness, this, that, and the other, all these things were taking place under Obama. The media just didn't give a rip. There were Democrats who complained, certainly. ACLU complained. We'll get into that in a second. And there was a long article about it in the New York Times. But for the most part, the mainstream media, did I say mainstream? I sure did. The mainstream media didn't give a rip. As a result, most people were unaware of the kinds of things ICE was doing, including going into the interior, deporting people, some of whom did not have a criminal record other than overstaying or entering the country illegally, and nobody said a word. Now, even Democrats acknowledge that Obama deported more people than Trump. I don't think that's in dispute. You count the so-called returns, people deported right at the border, in addition to the other ones deported in the interior under Obama, you're talking about 5 million people. Trump 1.0, 2.0, so far 1.5 million. Now, the ACLU complained. May 2014, this is Obama's second term. They said that Obama has moved from a judicial system where a vast majority of people facing deportation had immigration hearings to a system today of, quote, non-judicial removals, where 75% of the people do not see a judge before being expelled from the U.S. I know I speak quickly. Let me do that again. ACLU. Obama has moved from a system where the vast majority of people facing deportation had immigration court hearings to a system today, meaning May 2014, of non-judicial removals where 75% of people removed do not see a judge before being expelled from the U.S., end of quote. Where were the stars at the award show saying F ICE? Where were they? Where were the politicians demanding that ICE be defunded? Where were they? New York Times in April 2014, again, this is the second term of Obama. Listen to this. I'm quoting. A New York Times analysis of internal government records showed that since President Obama took office, 2/3 of the nearly 2 million deportation cases involved people who had committed minor infractions, including traffic violations, or had no criminal record at all. Pitchforks? Ice Watch? Quote, Mr. Obama came to office promising comprehensive immigration reform, yet records show that the enforcement net actually grew, picking up more and more immigrants with minor or no criminal records. End of quote. Back to the New York Times. The records show the largest increases were deportations involving illegal immigrants whose most serious offense was listed as a traffic violation, including driving under the influence. These cases more than quadrupled from $43,000 during the last 5 years of George W. Bush's administration to $193,000 during the 5 years Mr. Obama has been in office. In that same period, removals related to conviction for entering or re-entering the country illegally tripled under Mr. Obama to more than 188,000, end of quote. Where were the street protests?
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with the Salem News Channel and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This has been The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.